Hi, I'm Becca, Executive Director and CEO of the National Military Family Association. And we're here to talk to you today about something near and dear to all of our hearts, and that's military teens. We just released our second annual survey of our military teen community, and we found out a lot of really interesting information. Military teens are, I would say, overall doing pretty well. They are enjoying the military teen experience. They definitely have a lot of ups, but there are also a lot of downs. For the second year in a row, we learned that mental well-being among the military teen community is not as high as we'd like to see it. I want to introduce now Dr. Crystal Lewis. She's the head of our Research and Insights Department. She led us in this research project. Can you talk more about the methodology and a bit about the findings?
Thanks, Becca. So for both years, we used a validated instrument that measured the mental well-being of military teens, specifically ages 13 to 19. It was the Warwick-Edinburgh Mental Well-Being Scale, and again, it was specifically designed and validated for this group. It was a cross-sectional design. It was set up to provide a snapshot in time for both years, so we couldn't really compare or determine causation from year to year, but it gave us a really good snapshot of what was happening in the lives of military teens in 2021 and in 2022.
And some of those key points had to do with mental well-being, but also in the propensity to serve. Can you talk about that a bit?
Yes, so the DoD's propensity report had looked at young adults and teens age 16 to 24, their likelihood to serve in the future. And in 2020, 11% of military teens and young adults said that they plan to serve. In our research, what we found was, over 40% of military teens said that they plan to serve in the future. So that sense of military pride and military community really came through in the research.
So that 11% you're talking about the general population, right? 11% of Americans say they plan to serve, but in the military teen community, that number is much, much higher. So when we talk about what's happening among military teens, we're also talking about our future force. At National Military Family Association, we like to look at things kind of three-pronged. The research and insights, so tell us what's happening, right? We talk to military teens. And then we have our programming and our advocacy. And I want to introduce our Military Family Programs Director, Becca Garrison. She's doing a lot of work to support military teens, especially through Operation Purple. Can you talk more about that?
Absolutely. So we're always innovating in the programming space, especially with Operation Purple. We know that all military kids need a break from their day-to-day life sometime. They need other people who understand the things that they go through, and they want to build connections across different parts of their life so that those can go with them wherever they travel. We've been really excited to have the opportunity to learn both from the studies and from the Bloom teams themselves as we think about our programming. This year we're excited to pilot 3 teen-specific camps that will all focus on different populations of teens who are military affiliated across the country. We'll have a camp that's dedicated to hidden helpers, those teens who have a wounded, ill, or injured veteran in their home. We'll have 2 camps that are dedicated to teens across the country that serve a broader population of military teens. Operation Purple also serves families. One of the opportunities we're looking to this year is to think about the relationships that are really important in a teen's life, and that includes their family. So we'll be hosting a new type of family program this year where we allow parents and teens to participate in an event together to try to build those relationships. We're excited to work with our partners like American Red Cross to be able to offer opportunities for peers, teens, and parents to build their relationships in this space, and also for parents to build relationships with their teens. So we are really looking forward to seeing what happens with our events this summer. We're really grateful for all the feedback that we've been able to get from the survey and from the Bloom teens to make sure that we're constantly innovating and building something to help our families be stronger.
And that programming is so critical, especially in the moment when a family is going through something difficult, whether it's a deployment or a new PCS. But there's also these longer term issues that take years to work on. And it's something that we continue to do through our government relations work. Kelly Ruska is our Director of Government Relations. Can you talk about some of the work you've been doing on the Hill and in communities to support military teens?
Thanks, Bessa. We really appreciate it. Several years ago, through our Operation Purple camps and through our family retreats, we were hearing from families about the difficulty they were having accessing mental health care, especially for their children. And we heard from parents concerned that they weren't able to get mental health care for their children. And so with changes that the Defense Health Agency has made over the years, especially in co-pays for specialty care appointments, we were concerned that the cost of these co-pays were discouraging families from seeking care. So we've been working on the Hill to try to lower those specialty appointment co-pays so that families are able to access the care that they need. But that's just one half of the equation. And what we found is we have a lot of military spouses who are seeking careers in the military, in healthcare fields, especially mental health. But there are a lot of barriers in place for them to find those jobs. So we've been working with the Defense State Liaison Office and the states to try to reduce those barriers so that military spouses can find careers in mental health and help reduce those barriers so there are more providers.
We absolutely need more providers in the community. And then you have a community of military spouses who want to do that work. So we're going to keep fighting to try to make that easier to be in those careers, and for military teens and our military family community in general to get the help and support that they need. Also want to talk about a big and exciting announcement here at NMFA. So you've met Matthew and Elena a couple of times by now. They are the incredible founders of Bloom, Empowering the Military Teen. We've been working with them for years now on surveying military teens so that we can really hear what's going on in the military teen community. But this year, we are excited to welcome them into the NMFA family, not just as a partner, but as an actual part of NMFA. You two are both going to college soon, and you don't want this thing that you grew and created to go by the wayside. And we are thrilled to give Bloom that home, to give you all that home where you figure out your plans and what's next. Can you talk a little bit just about Bloom and the community you were able to build there and the importance of that?
Oh, yeah. Matthew and I, just a quick little Bloom history, is Matthew and I met back in 2018 when we started our freshman year of high school in Pennsylvania. And moving away from Pennsylvania, since it was such a short duty station, was really difficult for both of us. I definitely struggled with my mental health, and Matthew really struggled adjusting to his new school. He moved to Conus while I moved stateside. And going through our two separate struggles really made us want to contribute back to our community and let other kids might be going through those same struggles know that they're not alone, and that, you know, kids all around the world are also going through this because we live this sort of lifestyle. So we really started Bloom as a blog and some social media channels just to, you know, promote the blog, but it's grown to, you know, something that's far beyond just blog articles and social media posts, and I'll let Matthew talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we, like Elena said, we started as a blog, but we've since, you know, produced some videos taking on the challenges of military life in a lighthearted manner. Lighthearted. But we are currently developing a Discord server alongside NMFA's social team to build an actual online community for military teens to connect with one another. And we are working on, you know, just sharing more stories of military teens as we've done with the Teen Guide in partnership with NMFA. We really just want to teach the world what it's like to be a military teen and ensure that all military teens know that they aren't alone in their struggles.
And Besta, you mentioned like what the importance of community is for us. Our Teen Guide, as Matthew mentioned, we just published with you guys. It's entirely teen written and illustrated with solutions for issues in our community, both by leadership in the government relations team and by teens themselves. And it really is about telling our community outside of the military, like, this is what we go through. This is what, you know, these are the struggles that our community faces, and here's how you can support us. Because it's really important for military teens to have an accepting and welcoming community in order to feel like they're supported, because they go through a lot. They go through moving and deployments and mental health struggles, obviously, as we've seen in our research over the past couple of years. And showing, you know, people who might come in contact with them on a daily basis, like teachers and superintendents and counselors and people in the community, what they really go through from their perspective is really key to understanding and supporting them in the future.
You can see they're both truly amazing, and this is definitely, we talk about giving military teens a seat at the table, and you can see why. They have a powerful voice, they have a lot to say. We are thrilled to welcome you into the NMFA family, and everyone at home, please don't forget to check out the research, don't forget to check out the teen guide, share it with people in your community so that they can know what these military teens have to say. It's really important, and together we are definitely stronger. We can support them better together.